Hello friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a get ready with me, like a chatty get ready with me, just sharing details about myself that maybe you don't know, like a get to know me. Emily Noel filmed a get ready with me a couple of weeks ago doing this same style, and she inspired me to film this. And I also have a co-host in here with me today, Mr. Salem Buggy.
Are you going to tell us some details about yourself too, bud? Say, I'm real cute, and I like to eat, and I like to sleep, and I like my mommy and daddy. Yeah, he's your good buddies.
I tried to think of some like quirky things to share with you guys, but I don't feel like I have a ton of things I could think of that were super quirky, but I'm sure that Josh could probably think of some. I have loved makeup ever since I was a little girl. Like I remember being like, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 and sitting and watching my mom do her makeup every day. I just was in amazement of her doing her makeup, and my parents have a video of me when I was like, I think around like 2 or 3, where I wanted to wear lipstick to like one of my friends' like birthday parties because a little boy that I liked was gonna be there. I was one of those little girls that just did not care about baby dolls. Like I don't really even know if I had any baby dolls, or if I did, I just didn't really care about them. But I loved stuffed animals. Like I loved animals as a kid, and I still love animals. And I had a whole family of pound purries. I was also really into reptiles as a kid. I love snakes and lizards and turtles and frogs. So I think part of that was just like living in the country and just, you know, getting exposed to all of those animals like where we lived. Because my parents have like 5 acres, and my dad used to have kind of a small farm. He had like goats and some cows and stuff. And as a kid, I used to love the goats. There was one that my parents called Spider, and Mom said that I would always call it Spada. With my obsession with reptiles and lizards, I remember wanting an iguana when I was in middle school, and my parents were like, no, you are not getting an iguana. But they let me get a bearded dragon. So I had a bearded dragon in high school, well, in middle school all the way through high school before he passed away. But yeah, we always had cats. We had a few dogs growing up, and then yeah, I got my lizard. My mom was always like into birds, so we had like parakeets and things like that. I also had a pet hamster, and I love that little hamster. I remember one day when Mom took me to the bus stop at the end of our road. I guess it wasn't at the end of our road, it was at the end of the driveway, and we took my hamster out in his little hamster ball. And I remember getting on the school bus and like my mom walking away, and my little hamster was still in the little ball, but like our driveway was kind of like on a hill, so he couldn't get like out into the road or anything. But I remember when I got to school, I called my mom to make sure that she got my hamster and took it inside because I was paranoid that she left him outside. In the end of elementary school, I decided I wanted to be in band, and so I was in band from the end of middle school, or the end of elementary school, all the way through high school, and I played the clarinet and bass clarinet. Though I feel like I was never really that great at it because I hated practicing, and I only liked being in band because I got to be with my friends, and I also just liked making music with other people. And I was also in choir. I was just one of those kids that was always like into music and art and drawing and painting. So to set everything, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Or foundation in a powder. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I'm just gonna lightly use some of this to set my face. Well, I also took voice lessons, and I also did some singing competitions whenever I was in high school. So I was really into singing and all of that, and I still love to sing at church and everything, but I definitely feel like I'm not as good as I used to be. It's probably just more like a mental thing for me, but I feel like I'm a bit rusty. Oh, another thing too, whenever I was younger, I was obsessed with The Lion King. And when I say obsessed, like that's probably an understatement. If you were to ask some of my cousins, they would be like, oh my gosh, yes. Um, like every day before I would go to school, I would get up. This is when I was in elementary school. I would get up and watch The Lion King before I went to school. Like that's how dedicated I was. And I remember that I could basically recite the whole movie. Like I was just obsessed. I had Lion King clothes that I would wear, and since I was obsessed with like drawing and everything, I would draw all the characters. I really liked The Lion King. It was really embarrassing how much I liked it. Did you guys have a cartoon or a show whenever you were younger that you were really obsessed with like that? I don't know if it was just a kid thing or what, but I definitely went through phases of my childhood where I would just be really obsessed with certain things. My parents probably thought I was going to grow up and either work at the zoo or be a vet because I was so obsessed with animals. I cannot stand clutter, and if the house is really cluttered or really messy, it's hard for me to just focus until it is cleaned up. So a lot of times I'll need to like get the house completely cleaned before I can sit down and film videos or edit. Like, I know it's kind of a weird thing, but I know other people are also probably like that about stuff, like not being able to focus if there's a bunch of clutter. Before I got laid off from the job where I was a photo editor, I was in an office with another guy, and luckily he was also one of those types of people that he did not like a lot of clutter or things like that either. Like he also couldn't focus to work. So we worked so well together. I mean, we became really great friends. But yeah, I'm so glad I was in the office with him because our other two team members were the complete opposite, very messy and disorganized. So I'm glad I was in the office with him, or I don't think I would have been able to function. I'm actually just going to go in with the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer to do like my crease color because I'm going to use some of the shades out of this Wet n Wild Gold Whipped, I think is what it's called. Gold Whip palette. And this little palette, I mean, it does have this one transition shade, but I'm like, is it dark enough to show up? I guess it is. It looked kind of light, but I guess it'll show up. Oh, but yeah, another thing about me, like the clutter thing, another kind of, I guess, quirk about me, it's not really that weird, at least I don't feel like it is, but whenever I make our grocery list out, I will organize it to like how we would go through the store to get the groceries, just so we don't miss anything and have to like go back and get it, you know? I don't know, like I'm so like I really want it to be organized. Like I'm such an organized person that if things are not organized, I usually feel a bit like overwhelmed or stressed out. And I don't know if it stems back to whenever I was younger in elementary school, I was diagnosed with ADHD and dyslexia. And you know, having ADHD, you can get easily distracted by things. I think that's like, even now, like why things like Salem or like the cars driving by in my videos distract me because I'm just like so easily distracted. But yeah, I think that's another reason why I like to be very organized because I feel like it helps me to stay on track. I don't know, but it could just be my personality. I just like things like organized and for them to have like their own place. Like I cannot stand mess at all. And if the house gets too messy, I can't, we have to get it cleaned before I can do anything else. I'm just going in with the lightest shade in this palette now. And I was using the highlight shade from the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells to do my brow bone highlight, but I'm gonna put this light color all over the eyelid here, which this is a lot lighter than I remember it being. This could also work as a really pretty, like, just highlight shade, like for my brow bone. Another kind of quirk about me is I like to wake up early, like 5 o'clock, sometimes even before that, like at 4:30. Like, I know it's super weird, but I've always been like that, where I like to wake up really early. Like, I like that time before the sun comes up. I know it's like a weird mental thing, but it's almost like it feels like time stops for me. I mean, obviously it doesn't, but it feels like I have more time in the day if I get up before the sun comes up to get like just random things taken care of, like either editing videos or doing the dishes or starting on laundry. So I know that that's probably a really weird quirk that most people would be like, why aren't you sleeping in? It's your day off. But even on my days off, I get up really early, unless for some reason we stayed up late the night before, like binge watching like a TV show or something, which I try not to do. I'm usually really regimented on my bedtime routines and going to bed on time. My circadian clock or whatever is very much in tune, and as soon as the sun starts going down and it starts getting dark, I just automatically start to get sleepy. So I usually try to honor that and go to bed by 8:30 most of the time. Most of the times I'm in bed by 8:30, 9:30, somewhere in that range. And it's so funny because I remember whenever I was younger and over at my cousin's house, my aunt used to get up super early like that. And I used to think, like, what is wrong with her? Like, why is she getting up so early? And now I'm that person. But do any of you guys get up really early like that? Just because you want to, not because you have to, but because you want to? Let me know. I also had to get up that early for such a long time in my life with like the jobs and stuff that I had, that maybe it's just so ingrained in me to get up early that I just do. I don't know. This is such a random fact. But do you guys remember when couponing used to be a big thing, like in the mid 2000s? There was like that show on maybe TLC. I don't remember. It was called like Extreme Couponers. There was a period of time where I got into doing couponing. And in between, when I was in between jobs, I started doing couponing, and I actually got a lot of stuff for like nothing. So yeah, I really got into that. Do any of you guys still do couponing? Is that like still a thing? Like where people do like the extreme couponing? I mean, I know couponing is still a thing. Like we still clip coupons and take them, especially to Kroger, how they do like the coupons that are kind of geared towards like what you buy from Kroger. We always do those, but do any of you guys do any of the extreme couponing still? Like, let me know. My maiden last name is Timberlake. And so whenever I discovered NSYNC and that Justin's last name was Timberlake, I used to be obsessed, and I used to think like, is he related to me? Which I heard once that Timberlake's not even his last name, that it was just a stage name. Is that true? But I remember like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever NSYNC was really popular, I'd have people ask me all the time if I was related to Justin. So I used to always think that was so cool that my last name was Timberlake. And I don't know if you guys remember when they used to make like, when they used to have like those bags and things that would say like Miss Clooney or Mrs. Timberlake. I had one of those bags that had that monogrammed on it, and I thought it was so cool. My first big concert as a middle school kid was going to an NSYNC concert, and Britney Spears opened for them, and that was before she was really popular. So I always think that's so cool whenever I like think back to my first concert. Like, I mean, I went to like little concerts as like a kid and stuff, especially like with my parents. We went to like a lot of Christian concerts and stuff, but like my first like bigger concert as a kid that was such a big one for me. I'm just going in with the MCO Beauty. This is their Glow Up pH Powder Blush in Blush Red. I used this recently in a video. It might have been my video that I posted like a few days before this one, but I have been loving this blush ever since I used it in that video. I just think it is such a beautiful flush type of blush, especially for winter. Like I love these types of blush for the winter time. I forgot what I was even saying. Oh, another, I guess, thing that I'm into, it's not really that uncommon, I guess. It's one of those things that people either really like it or they really hate it. But I love watching ASMR videos, especially the ones like where they're tapping on things, or someone that's like pretending to like do your makeup or like your skincare, like you're doing like a spa day or something, or like where they're brushing, pretending like they're brushing your hair, but they're like brushing a mannequin's hair. I love watching those. Those are so relaxing for me. And so if I'm ever like really stressed or just want to relax, those are the type of videos that I like to watch. And there was like a small period of time where like I wanted to start an ASMR channel because I love it so much. But I know it's like one of those things that sometimes people feel like it's really weird, or they actually don't like the sounds. They find it irritating, but it's so relaxing for me. I want to bust out this NYX Buttermilk highlighter. It's been a minute since I've used this, and it's kind of newer to my collection. I hate the winter. Like, I am just not a fan of winter. Like, my two most disliked months of the year is January and February. Like, I like a good snow, but where I live, like, we don't get a ton of snow here in Kentucky. Like, I live 30 minutes outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and it's like some years we'll get a lot of snow, and then other years we get like nothing. And the years that when we don't get any snow, it just looks so gloomy, so dead, so depressing. So I really don't like that. And also too, when we do get a lot of snow here, I feel like our town and our city doesn't know how to deal with the snow. And so most of the times, like, our town is just like not prepared for it. And so it's kind of nice because we usually have snow days, and a lot of like places like where you'd work, a lot of jobs and stuff shut down. So it's kind of nice, but at the same time, it's also a little bit annoying. So yeah, I'm just not a fan of winter. And honestly, like, I don't really like it if it's really overcast and rainy for days on end. I will start to feel a bit depressed. And I hate that about myself. Like, I wish that I didn't feel that way, but I'm just one of those types of people that I love the sun and I love sunshine. Like, it really makes the biggest difference for me. I'm going in with like a little bit of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in Bloom Time. I know I'm like super glowing today. But yeah, I cannot stand winter. Like, if we could just cut those 2 months out and just have a longer fall, I would be okay with that. I'm gonna mist my face with this Hard Candy Look on Lock setting spray. The mister, sorry about that. The mister on that spray is so fine. She's so fine that it almost feels like I'm not getting any spray on my face. One of the first jobs that I ever had, I worked as a server at Cracker Barrel. Oh, another thing about me that is really annoying, and it's like one of those things that I've tried to break. It's probably some sort of like mental disorder. I don't know, like maybe like an OCD, I'm not for sure. But I pick my cuticles until they bleed. And so the only solution I have found to help me to not pick my cuticles is to wear press-ons. And that is the main reason why I wear press-on nails, is so I don't pick at my cuticles. It's like I'll pick them for so many different reasons, like because I'm bored, nervous, scared. And sometimes, like, I know it sounds really gross, but sometimes I actually enjoy picking my cuticles, like picking off like the dry skin. I don't know. So that's one of the main reasons why I wear fake nails. I mean, besides I really like having my nails done and they look nice all the time, but I bought this Wet n Wild So Defined mascara. I've never used this before and I wanted to try this out. So I'm gonna bust into this today. So this is supposed to be a defining and volumizing mascara. It says the extra volume without the clumpiness. This weightless 24-hour mascara delivers super defined volume, length, and lift with easy to build and control. Okay, yeah, I like the wand on this. Like, it kind of reminds me of my Maybelline mascara that I really like. It feels like a bit more of a drier formula mascara. So I don't know how long this would last before it would start flaking on me. It definitely seems, oh, for a second there I thought I was not filming. That happens to me all the time. Like, I'll just have this feeling that I'm not filming my video, and then I'll like check and be like, phew, thank God. Seems like this is building nicely. Yeah, I mean, like, first impressions, I'm really impressed with this mascara. I really like it. Another like pet peeve, or not really pet peeve, I mean, I guess it is kind of a pet peeve, but like another kind of quirk about me is I have to wash my face at night and brush my teeth, or if I don't, like if I'm laying in bed and I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna worry about any of that tonight, like I'm too tired, I'll just like lay there and feel so gross that I can't sleep, and then I'll just get up and do it anyway. So I think it's just one of those habits that's like so ingrained in me. It just feels gross to just go to lay down in a full face of makeup. Like, I cannot stand that feeling, or to feel like I have gross teeth. Okay, so there is this mascara kind of built up. I do really like the way it looks, so I'll try to like notate in the video if it flaked or smudged throughout the day. I think I'm gonna wear this Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink in Lippy. I've been wearing this a lot recently, and I think it would pair really nicely with the blush. I'm gonna add just a little bit more blush. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today and found it interesting. I really loved watching Emily Noel's video, just her sharing random just topics about herself or just random quirks. So if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, do any of you guys have any of these weird quirks too, or did you find this video interesting? Let me know any other video requests that you have, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.